Dr. June Kim stared at the large screen in front of him. Strange signals had been coming from beyond Pluto for the past week. As the head of Earth's Global Defense Initiative, he had seen many odd things in space, but this was different. "Dr. Kim, the signals are getting stronger," said his assistant, Dr. Hannah Park. Her eyes were fixed on her computer screen, fingers typing quickly. "Are we sure it's not one of ours?" June asked, though he already knew the answer. "No, sir. All Earth ships are accounted for. This is something else." It was the year 2137, and humanity had spread throughout the solar system. Mars now had 3 large cities. Mining stations circled Jupiter's moons. Research bases dotted the moons of Saturn. Earth itself had changed too. After the climate wars of the 2080s, nations had joined together under one government. The United Earth Council now watched over all human affairs. Admiral Kang walked into the control room. He was the head of Earth's Space Force, a tall man with a serious face. "Dr. Kim, we need to talk," he said quietly. "The strange signals. Our deep space telescopes have spotted something." The image that appeared on the main screen made everyone in the room fall silent. A fleet of ships, unlike anything humans had built, was moving slowly toward Earth. "How many?" asked June. "We count at least 50 large vessels," Admiral Kang replied. "And they're not hiding. They want us to see them." President Tae-hyun called an emergency meeting of the Earth Council. That same day, in the large round meeting room beneath New Seoul, world leaders gathered to hear what Dr. Kim and Admiral Kang had to say. "They will reach Earth in 3 days," Admiral Kang explained. "We have tried to contact them, but they haven't answered." Just as he finished speaking, every screen in the room turned on by itself. A face appeared, not human but somewhat like a human. It had gray skin, large black eyes, and no visible nose. "People of Earth," the being said in perfect English. "I am Commander Toral of the Voidborn Collective. We have observed your world for many of your years. We come in peace and wish to meet with your leaders." The room exploded with voices. "President." Tae raised his hand for quiet. "Commander Toral," he said calmly, "we welcome peaceful contact. Where would you like to meet? We will send a small ship to your United Nations building in 3 of your days. Please have your top leaders there." The screens went dark. "Can we trust them?" asked Minister Jun, the head of Global Resources. Dr. June Kim had been silent until now. "We should be careful," he said. "They've been watching us for years without making contact. Why now? And how do they speak our language so well?" "What do you suggest, Dr. Kim?" asked President Tae. "Let's meet them as they ask. But we should be ready for anything." For the next 3 days, Earth prepared. The Space Force put all its ships on high alert. The Global Defense Initiative activated its planet-side defenses quietly, and Dr. Kim worked day and night in his secret lab deep under the mountains. On the 3rd day, a small alien ship landed on the grounds of the United Nations in New York. It was smooth and silver, shaped like a teardrop. 5 beings walked out, all looking like Commander Toral from the message. Inside the grand meeting hall, President Tae welcomed the aliens. Earth's top 200 leaders were there, including Dr. Kim and Admiral Kang. "We thank you for this welcome," said Commander Toral. His voice was smooth, almost too perfect. "The Voidborn Collective spans many star systems. We have brought peace and progress to many worlds. We wish to offer Earth the same." "We are interested in peaceful relations," said President Tae. "What do you propose?" Commander Toral smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "It's simple. Earth will join our collective. You will provide us with 40% of your planet's resources. In return, we will share some of our technology and protect you from other dangers in space." The room grew quiet. Admiral Kang's face turned red with anger. Dr. Kim watched carefully, his face showing nothing. "That's not an offer of peace," said Defense Minister Su Lee. "That's a demand for surrender." Commander Toral's smile disappeared. "You misunderstand. The collective brings order and progress. Many worlds have joined us and prospered." "Did they have a choice?" asked Dr. Kim suddenly. The alien turned to look at him. There is always a choice. Join peacefully or, well, the alternative is less pleasant. President Tay stood up. We will need to discuss your offer among ourselves. Of course, said Toral. You have 3 of your days to decide. Our fleet will remain just beyond your moon until then. After the aliens left, the Earth Council argued for hours. Some leaders wanted to accept the offer, fearing what would happen if they refused. Others, like Admiral Kang, wanted to fight. Right away, Dr. Kim finally spoke up. The Voidborn aren't here for peaceful exchange, they're conquerors. I have studied their ships. Their weapons are powerful, but they're not unbeatable. What do you suggest? Asked President Tay. We refuse their offer. But we need time to prepare our defenses. The vote was unanimous. Earth would not surrender. 3 days later, Commander Toral returned to hear Earth's answer. The people of Earth appreciate your offer, said President Tay formally. But we must decline. We are open to true peaceful relations, trade, cultural exchange, shared knowledge, but Earth will remain independent. For a moment, Commander Toral looked truly surprised. Then his face hardened. No world has ever refused to join the collective, he said coldly. You make a grave mistake. The mistake is yours, replied Dr. Kim, stepping forward. If you think Earth will bow to threats, the alien's eyes narrowed as he looked at Dr. Kim. Who are you to speak so boldly? I am Dr. Jun Kim, head of Earth's Global Defense Initiative. Remember my words, Dr. Kim. You have 6 months to reconsider. After that, we will return and you will face consequences beyond your comprehension. With that, the aliens left. As their ship rose into the sky, Admiral Kang turned to Dr. Kim. 6 months. Can we be ready? Dr. Kim nodded slowly. We must be. I've been preparing for this day for 20 years. How did you know aliens would threaten us? Asked Minister Jun. I didn't know it would be aliens, Dr. Kim replied. But history shows that when a more advanced civilization meets a less advanced one, it rarely ends well for the latter. I wasn't going to let that happen to Earth. Back in his mountain laboratory, Dr. Kim activated a secure communication line to his secret team spread across the solar system. Activate Protocol Aegis, he ordered. We have 6 months to prepare Earth's defense. On screens around him, lights began to blink as hidden systems throughout the solar system came to life. Systems that had been built in secret, waiting for this very day. They think we're helpless, Dr. Kim said quietly to himself. They're about to learn how wrong they are. 5 months had passed since the Voidborn gave Earth their ultimatum. In his underground lab beneath the mountains, Dr. Jun Kim hadn't slept more than 4 hours a night. Dark circles framed his eyes as he checked the latest test results. Dr. Kim, you need to rest, said Engineer Su Lee. She had worked with Jun for 15 years, helping build his secret defense system. Soon, he replied, not looking up from his screen. How is the satellite network? All 36 satellites are in position, Su said. The dimensional field generators are working at 98% efficiency. Dr. Kim nodded. Most people on Earth didn't know what he and his team were building. Only the highest levels of government knew the full truth about Protocol Aegis. It wasn't a weapon in the normal sense. It was something much more powerful. In another part of the facility, Dr. Jin Park was running final checks on the quantum field stabilizers. Jin was the best quantum physicist on Earth. 20 years ago, he had made a breakthrough that changed everything scientists thought they knew about dimensions. Jin, are the field tests complete? Asked Dr. Kim over the comm system. Yes. We successfully shifted a small asteroid into the pocket dimension for 10 minutes, then brought it back. Everything worked perfectly. Dr. Kim allowed himself a small smile. Good. We're almost ready. Meanwhile, Admiral Kang was on the bridge of Earth's largest battleship, the EDF Prometheus. The ship orbited Mars, along with 20 other vessels. It wasn't much compared to what the Voidborn would bring, but it wasn't Earth's true defense. Admiral, we've detected movement at the edge of the solar system, reported his second-in-command, Captain Han. Many ships have just appeared near Pluto. Admiral Kang's face remained calm, but his hands tightened on the railing. How many? We count over 200 ships, sir. And more are appearing. Contact Earth. Tell Dr. Kim the Voidborn have returned. And they've brought friends. On Earth, President Tae-hyun called an emergency meeting. The room was tense as military leaders and scientists gathered around the large table. The Voidborn fleet is 3 times larger than we expected, said Defense Minister Su Lee. Our conventional forces cannot stop them. They don't need to, said Dr. Kim calmly. Protocol Aegis is ready. Explain it again, said President Tae. In simple terms, Dr. Kim stood and activated a holographic display showing the solar system. We've placed special satellites around every planet in our system. Together, they create a geometric pattern. The display showed lines connecting the satellites, forming a complex web throughout the solar system. These satellites can bend the fabric of space-time in a very specific way, he continued. They can create a pocket dimension, a bubble of space that exists alongside ours but doesn't interact with it. And you're sure it will work on ships that size? Asked Minister Jun. Size doesn't matter, replied Dr. Jin Park. The physics is the same whether it's a small asteroid or a large fleet. What's the plan exactly? Asked Admiral Kang through the video link from the Prometheus. We let them come, said Dr. Kim. We draw them in past Saturn, that's our line. Once they cross it, all their ships will be within our network's range. And then? Asked President Tae. And then we give them one last warning. If they ignore it, we activate the dimensional shift. Their entire fleet will be moved into a pocket dimension. They'll still exist. They'll still be conscious, but they won't be able to interact with our universe. The room was silent as everyone considered this. It's not destruction, Dr. Kim added. It's containment, and it's reversible, if we choose to reverse it. President Tae looked around the room. All in favor? Every hand went up. 3 days later, the Voidborn fleet crossed Neptune's orbit. Commander Toral sent a message to Earth. People of Earth, your time to reconsider has ended. The collective has sent its integration fleet. Resistance is pointless. Surrender now and we will be merciful. Admiral Kang and his fleet waited near Mars. They knew they couldn't win a direct battle. But that wasn't their job. Their job was to slow the aliens down and make sure they all entered the trap. President Tae addressed Earth's people, telling them about the coming danger, but assuring them that Earth had a plan. He didn't share the details of Protocol Aegis. That remained top secret. As the alien fleet approached Saturn, Dr. Kim sent a message directly to Commander Toral's ship. His face was calm and confident on the screen. This is Dr. Jun Kim of Earth's Global Defense Initiative. You are approaching a boundary we have set at Saturn's orbit. Cross that line, and you will face consequences beyond your comprehension. This is your only warning. On his ship, Commander Toral laughed. He had conquered many worlds and none had ever been able to stop the Voidborn. Your primitive threats mean nothing, he replied. We have studied your technology. You have nothing that can harm our fleet. We're not threatening to harm you, said Dr. Kim simply. We're telling you what will happen. Saturn's orbit is our line. Do not cross it. Commander Toral ended the transmission. He turned to his second-in-command. Send a small attack group past their line. Destroy the human outposts on Titan. Show by them how powerless they truly are. 5 Voidborn warships broke from the main fleet and accelerated towards Saturn. They quickly reached Titan, firing their energy weapons at the human research stations there. The stations exploded in bright flashes visible from Earth's telescopes. At the Global Defense Initiative, Admiral Kang watched the destruction with anger. We should activate Protocol Aegis now, he said over the video link. Dr. Kim shook his head. Not yet. We need the entire fleet to cross the line. Every ship, every soldier. The trap must be complete. More people will die if we wait, argued Defense Minister Su. And billions will be saved when we succeed, replied Dr. Kim. Trust me. For 3 days, the small Voidborn attack group destroyed outposts and small ships around Saturn's moons. Earth's forces retreated, making it look like they were overwhelmed. All according to Dr. Kim's plan. Commander Toral was pleased. The humans were even weaker than he thought. He gathered his fleet and sent a final message to Earth. Your pathetic warning has been tested and found meaningless. Now the full might of the Voidborn Collective comes for Earth. Prepare to join us or be destroyed. The massive alien fleet, now grown to over 500 ships, began moving as one towards Saturn's orbit. In his mountain facility, Dr. Kim watched. The holographic display as hundreds of red dots approached the invisible line his team had drawn in space. They're taking the bait, said Dr. Jin Park. All satellites at 100% power, reported Engineer Su Lee. Dr. Kim nodded. Get President Tae. It's time for him to give the final authorization. As the first alien ships crossed Saturn's orbit, Earth prepared to show the Voidborn what happened to those who ignored humanity's final warning. The massive Voidborn fleet moved steadily past Saturn's orbit. Their ships were dark and sleek, shaped like giant arrowheads. On the bridge of the lead ship, Commander Toril watched with cold satisfaction as his forces spread out into attack. Formation. Send the message to all human frequencies, he ordered. Across Earth, on Mars, and throughout the solar system, every screen and speaker suddenly carried the alien commander's voice. People of Earth, your line has been crossed. Your warning has been ignored. You have no power against the Voidborn Collective. Surrender now, and some of you may serve us. Resist, and none will be spared. In the war room beneath New Sol, President Tae and Earth's leaders watched the alien fleet approach. The room was quiet. They had prepared for this moment for months, but fear still gripped many hearts. The fleet will reach Mars in 6 hours, reported Admiral Kang from the Prometheus. All civilian ships have been ordered to seek shelter. President Tae turned to Dr. Kim. Is everything ready? Dr. Kim nodded. Protocol Aegis is at full power. All satellites are functioning perfectly. We're ready. Then I am authorizing Protocol Aegis, said President Tae formally. Save our people, Dr. Kim. Dr. Kim pressed his palm to a scanner. Voice authorization required. President Tae Hyun. Authorization code, Bright Shield. A small device on the table glowed green. Dr. Kim picked it up and put it in his pocket. I need to be in the control center, he said. The final activation must be done there. As Dr. Kim left, Minister Jun asked quietly, Will it really work? President Tae watched. The door closed behind the scientist. It has to. 3 hours later, the first wave of Voidborn ships reached Mars. The human defenses there were strong but not strong enough. The aliens' weapons tore through ships and orbital stations with ease. On the Prometheus, Admiral Kang ordered his fleet to engage. Protect the civilian transports at all costs, he commanded. Every minute we buy is one more minute for people to escape. Earth ships fought bravely. They were smaller than the alien vessels but faster. They darted between the massive Voidborn warships, firing their weapons, then quickly moving away. But the aliens had too many ships. For every Voidborn vessel damaged, 2 human ships were destroyed. Admiral Kang watched grimly as his fleet was slowly reduced. Sir, the Mars colonies are under attack, reported Captain Han. The aliens have landed ground forces. Admiral Kang's face hardened. Tell Dr. Kim the Voidborn are fully committed to the invasion. All their ships have crossed Saturn's orbit. Deep under the mountains on Earth, Dr. Kim received the message. He stood in a large circular room filled with computers and strange devices. Engineer Su Lee and Dr. Jin Park worked at control panels around the room. It's time, said Dr. Kim. Start the sequence. Su Lee typed commands into her console. Satellite network connected, power levels at maximum. Dr. Jin Park monitored the quantum field readings. Dimensional anchors stable, pocket space forming. Dr. Kim placed the small device from his pocket into a slot on the main control panel. It glowed brighter. The President's authorization key is accepted, said the computer voice. Final activation requires lead scientist confirmation. Dr. Kim placed his hand on a scanner. Dr. Jun Kim, Protocol Aegis lead scientist. Confirm activation. Around the solar system, the 36 satellites that Dr. Kim's team had placed in orbit began to glow with strange blue light. They had been carefully positioned in a complex pattern that covered the entire area between Saturn and Mars, exactly where the Voidborn fleet now was. On Mars, the battle raged. The human colonies were falling one by one. Voidborn soldiers moved through the streets of the largest city, their weapons easily cutting through human defenses. The alien Supreme Commander, General Maxis, had joined the invasion. He stood on a hill overlooking the main colony, watching with satisfaction as his forces took control. "Commander Toral," he said into his communication device, "move the main fleet toward Earth. Mars will be secure within hours." "Yes, General," replied Toral. "The humans fought better than expected, but they are no match for us." The main Voidborn fleet, still over 400 ships strong, changed course toward Earth. Their sensors showed Earth's defenses powering up, primitive missile systems and energy weapons that posed little threat to their advanced shields. "They still resist," said Toral to his officers. "They will learn the price of defiance." In the mountain facility, Dr. Kim watched the holographic display as the alien fleet moved exactly where he wanted them. "The trap is set," he said quietly. "Every Voidborn ship is now within the network's range." Dr. Jin Park checked his readings once more. "Dimensional bubble is stable. We can activate at any time." Su Li looked up from her screen. "Dr. Kim, Mars is falling. People are dying. We need to act now." Dr. Kim nodded. "Send one final message to the Voidborn fleet." On the main alien ship, Commander Toral was surprised when Dr. Kim's face appeared on his screen. "This is your final chance," said Dr. Kim calmly. "Leave our solar system now or face the consequences." Commander Toral laughed. "Your people die on Mars even as we speak. Your fleet is in ruins. What consequences could you possibly deliver?" "Those you cannot imagine," replied Dr. Kim. "This is humanity's final warning." "Your warnings are as empty as your defenses," sneered Toral. "Earth will be ours before this day ends." Dr. Kim's face showed no emotion. "So be it." The transmission ended. Toral turned to his crew. "Prepare the main weapons. We will show Earth what happens to those who defy the collective." In the mountain facility, Dr. Kim looked at his team. "Are we ready?" Both Su and Jin nodded. Dr. Kim took a deep breath. "Initiate. Dimensional phase shift." Su Li pressed a series of buttons. "Phase shift initiating. Power at maximum." Dr. Jin Park watched his screens closely. "Dimensional bubble forming. 5 seconds to complete enclosure." Around the solar system, the 36 satellites pulsed with bright blue energy. Lines of light connected them, forming a vast web that surrounded the region of space containing the Voidborn fleet. On the Prometheus, Admiral Kang watched in awe as the web of light became visible even to the naked eye. "All human ships, hold position," he ordered. "Protocol Aegis is active." The web of light grew brighter, then seemed to contract slightly. For a brief moment, everything was still. Then silently, the entire Voidborn fleet changed. The ships were still visible, but they looked slightly transparent, as if they were no longer fully part of the same reality. On his ship, Commander, Toral felt a strange sensation pass through his body. He looked at his hands, they seemed solid to him. But when he ordered his weapons to fire at Earth, nothing happened. "What is happening?" he demanded. "Why aren't our weapons working?" His science officer looked up from his console, fear in his large black eyes. "Commander, something has changed. Our sensors show we're no longer in the same dimensional plane as before." "What does that mean?" growled Toral. "It means," said the officer slowly, "we can see their world, but we cannot touch it. We cannot affect it in any way." On the main screen, Dr. Kim's face appeared again. This time, there was a hint of a smile on his lips. "Welcome to your new reality. Commander Toral," he said. "As I warned you, you have faced consequences beyond your comprehension." Commander Toral stared at Dr. Kim's face on the screen. For the first time in his long life, he felt fear. "What have you done to us?" he demanded. "Exactly what we warned you we would do," Dr. Kim replied calmly. "Your fleet hasn't been destroyed. It has been moved. You now exist in a pocket dimension just slightly out of phase with our reality. Return us at once, Toral shouted. That's not how this works, said Dr. Kim. You invaded our home. You killed our people. You ignored our warnings. Now you face the consequences. On the Prometheus, Admiral Kang watched the strange sight before him. The entire Voidborn fleet was still visible, but they looked like ghosts. There, but not there. His damaged ship limped toward Mars to help the colonies that had been attacked. Sir, said Captain Han, the alien ground forces on Mars, they've all disappeared too. Admiral Kang nodded. Protocol Aegis worked exactly as Dr. Kim said it would. Every Voidborn soldier, ship, and weapon that crossed Saturn's orbit is now trapped in the pocket dimension. Back in the mountain facility on Earth, Dr. Jin Park monitored the dimensional readings. The bubble is stable, he reported. They're completely contained. Engineer Su Li looked at her own screens. Power consumption is within expected parameters. The satellite network can maintain the bubble indefinitely. President Tay's face appeared on the main screen. Dr. Kim, is it done? Yes, Mr. President, Dr. Kim replied. The Voidborn fleet is contained. They can see us, but they cannot harm us. And Mars? The alien forces there have been shifted too. Our people are safe, though many were hurt or killed before we activated Protocol Aegis. President Tay nodded sadly. Too many lost, but billions saved. He paused. What happens to the aliens now? Dr. Kim turned to look at another screen where Commander Toral was still visible. That's up to us. And to them. Dr. Kim opened a channel to the trapped fleet. Commander Toral's angry face filled the screen once more. Our scientists have analyzed your situation, Dr. Kim said. Your ships have fuel and supplies for approximately 3 years. You can live quite comfortably in your current state until then. 3 years? Toral looked shocked. And then what? That depends on you and on your leaders back home, replied Dr. Kim. We plan to contact the Voidborn homeworld. We will explain what has happened to your fleet. Toral's face showed surprise. You know where our homeworld is? We've known for some time, Dr. Kim said. We've been studying you just as you've been studying us. The difference is that we prepared better. In the days that followed, Earth began to recover. Ships were sent to Mars to help the damaged colonies. The dead were mourned. The injured were treated. 1 week after the invasion, President Tay addressed the people of Earth and Mars in a system-wide broadcast. The threat has been contained, he said. Through the brilliant work of Dr. Jun Kim and his team, humanity faced its greatest challenge and prevailed. The Voidborn thought us weak and primitive. They learned otherwise. He continued, We have established contact with the Voidborn homeworld. Their leaders were shocked to learn what happened to their invasion fleet. They had never failed to conquer a world before. On the screen behind President Tay, an image appeared showing the ghostly Voidborn fleet still hanging in space, trapped in their dimensional bubble. We have offered the Voidborn collective a choice, the president said. Peace or isolation. They can choose to live alongside humanity as equals, sharing knowledge and resources fairly. Or they can remain cut off, with their invasion fleet trapped as a reminder of the cost of aggression. In his office after the speech, President Tay met with Dr. Kim. Do you think they'll choose peace? The president asked. Dr. Kim considered the question. The Voidborn have conquered 37 worlds using the same tactics they tried with us. For the first time, they've met a species that could stop them. That changes everything for them. And if they choose war instead? Asked the president. Then, they will learn that Protocol Aegis was just the first of Earth's defenses, Dr. Kim replied. But I don't think it will come to that. Even conquerors can learn. 3 months passed. The Voidborn fleet remained trapped in their pocket dimension, visible to human ships but unable to interact with our universe. Then, a message came from the Voidborn homeworld. The alien leaders requested a meeting. Not through screens this time, but in person. They would send their High Chancellor to Earth, with no weapons and no demands. The meeting took place in the same United Nations hall where Commander Toral had delivered his ultimatum months before. But this time, the Voidborn representative was different. High Chancellor Mevik was older, his gray skin lined with age, his manner humbler. "People of Earth," he began, "the Voidborn Collective has existed for over 1,000 of your years. In that time we have spread across many star systems, bringing many worlds into our control. Never before have we encountered a species like yours." He looked directly at Dr. Kim. "You could have destroyed our fleet, killed our people. Instead, you showed restraint. This gun was unexpected." President Tay spoke. "Earth believes in peace, but we will defend ourselves when threatened." "We understand that now," said Chancellor Mavic. "I am here to offer a formal peace treaty between the Voidborn Collective and Earth. No demands, no surrenders, just peace between equals." The treaty was signed that day. One of its terms was the release of the trapped Voidborn fleet. Dr. Kim activated the reversal process personally. As the dimensional bubble collapsed and the alien ships became solid again, Admiral Kang's fleet stood ready, just in case. But there was no battle. The Voidborn ships quietly formed up and left the solar system, returning to their home. Commander Toral was removed from his position. The new fleet commander sent a simple message before they jumped to faster-than-light speed. "We will remember. 1." Year later, Dr. Kim stood on the observation deck of the new space station orbiting Earth. Next to him was Engineer Sue Lee. "The Voidborn have kept their word," she said. "Trade has begun with 3 of their core worlds." Dr. Kim nodded. "And 17 other species have now reached out to Earth for alliance. It seems the story of how we defeated the Voidborn without destroying a single ship has spread throughout the galaxy. You always said there was a better way than just building bigger weapons," Sue remarked. "The best defense is one that doesn't need to destroy your enemy," Dr. Kim replied. "The Voidborn aren't our enemies anymore. They're our trading partners. Perhaps someday they'll be our friends." As they watched, a ship appeared near the moon. Not a human vessel, but not Voidborn either. It was the first diplomatic mission from a new alien species eager to meet the humans who had taught the mighty Voidborn a lesson in humility. "Earth's place in the galaxy has changed forever," said Dr. Kim, "and all because we stood our ground and gave a warning that should not have been ignored." As stars began to appear in the darkening sky, Dr. Kim smiled. Humanity would never be alone again, and it would never be underestimated again either. The end.